all the flowers of all the tomorrows are found in the seeds of today. Hello, welcome to my garden. My name is Michael Brown. I'm a licensed professional counselor in Richmond, Virginia, and raising dahlias is my secret passion. So I thought I would take you on a tour of my dahlia garden. This is October the 18th, 2008. I'd like to tell you about the raising and cultivation of this beautiful flower. Some people call me the Dahlia Dude. I'll tell you why in the next 25 minutes. In 2003, I took my wife Solange to San Francisco to celebrate our 25th wedding anniversary. That's where we were married, and it seemed an appropriate trip to make. In the Golden Gate Park, we came upon the National Dahlia Society's annual dahlia exhibit, a 40 by 40 foot demonstration of the wonder and beauty of the dahlia flower. There are 12 different kinds of dahlia petal, many different kinds of leaf structures, and they grow at various heights from 2 and 3 feet tall to 10 feet tall. And this exhibit was so spectacular that I immediately fell back in love with my wife and in love with the dahlia flower. When I came home with 10 tubers. That next spring, in 2004, I planted them. Each year I have increased the number of dahlias that I grow and the number of plants that I grow. Sometimes I grow 2 or 3 plants of one dahlia variety, and sometimes I start each year with a few new ones that I particularly enjoy. This dahlia is called Wildcat. It's a small to medium-sized bloom, and blooms grow in range from the size of a dime to dinner plate dahlias. This is a very lovely yellow and red flower, just a gorgeous flower to get a real close-up on, reaching up to the sky. Wildcat. Dahlias propagate in 3 ways. Each flower becomes a bundle of seeds. When you scatter the seeds of any particular dahlia in the ground, you get a wide variety of flowers, not the same petal color or shape of the flower that it came from because of cross-pollination. If you have a dahlia that you particularly love, when you plant the tuber in the ground in the springtime, in the fall it will be a tuber bundle. There might be 8 or 10 or 12 tubers that grow off of that. If you plant those tubers will give you the same color flower and the same kind of flower that originally came. So seeds have a wide genetic variability, and you never know what kind of a dahlia you'll get. That's why there are 10,000 varieties of dahlias. But if you like a particular dahlia, you cultivate or you order a particular tuber, and you will get the dahlia of your choice. This lovely lavender dahlia is called Cloudburst. And it's a medium-sized dahlia. This plant here is about 4 feet tall. That's a normal size plant. If you overfeed dahlias, they will grow tall and leggy. The stems won't be strong. if you have too much nitrogen. When you fertilize in the summer, you use a fertilizer of 0, 10, 10. Little or no nitrogen, and the other ingredients, the other minerals help it grow strong stems and strong plants. One of the reasons I decided to do a little video on dahlias was because the Richmond Times-Dispatch, our local newspaper, featured a story about my dahlia garden in the home and garden section of the newspaper on Friday, October 10. They shared a couple of pictures of my dahlias and a poem that I wrote about this particular dahlia behind me, which is called Bed Head. In this poem, I talk about the challenges of raising dahlias, and I'd like to share that with you as you enjoy a slow sweep across the face of this particular plant. The dahlia's fate is uncertain at best, for it is a delicate flower. It comes to us from a place far away, and it takes a lot to empower. It must be handled quite carefully, planted just right, staked, fed, and watered, and pruned at a height that allows it to fully reach up to the sun till the cold kiss of autumn and the season is done. To those who love it, no work is too great to nurture it into its bloom. The commitment to its unfolding does countless hours consume, until through great care and attention, the gardener finally receives the blessing of its colorful blossoms on top of verdant leaves. It's nearly impossible to describe, and to video, the beauty of this garden delight. Few flowers are found so arresting, that are so stunning and bright. And the one pictured here by the name of Bedhead is the most vigorous of all. Its tall laterals spread gorgeous orange and burgundy hues to the sky to enchant the spirit and capture the eye. I mentioned before there are 12 different kind of petals for dahlias. This particular petal is called a single. It's one row of flowers surrounding a yellow center. This flower is called Junkyard Dog. I planted this tuber this spring. It's a brand new tuber. And a brand new plant will come up with 10 or 12 flowers in its first year. If you allow the tuber to stay in the ground and cover it deeply with leaves so that the ground doesn't freeze it, the second year you'll have a great many sprouts. You prune them all off except one or two, and the tuber bundle creates a really vigorous platform for a great many flowers to come the second or the third year. This is called Junkyard Dog. We've got 8 or 10 flowers. Next year we'll probably have 30 or 40. This flower is called Bodacious. This petal structure is called informal decorative. It's one level of petals, but they can curve and surround a yellow center. Bodacious can be that big. When dahlias first come up, if you let the plant grow naturally, one strong stem will come up and make a very large flower and several other smaller flowers. But if after its second set of leaves unfold, if you pinch the head out of the lead sprout, for the rest of the season it will put its energy into laterals. The one sprout will create 2 laterals. 2 laterals will come out of those laterals. 2 laterals will come out of those. And by the end of the season, now, October 18, we have, an infinite number of dahlias on each dahlia plant by virtue of the pruning. The dahlias need tying. There's a need to tie them up because even if the stems are strong, dew or rain or wind can break them down. So they need a lot of tying. I use rebar beam, 3/8 of an inch rebar beam, to stake my dahlias so that no elemental force, short of a hurricane, will hurt them as they grow through the season. Bodacious. This dahlia is called L'Encresse. L'Encresse is a ball petaled dahlia, very intricate, almost like a honeycomb. Very beautiful, small, pure white with a yellow center. Plant about 4 feet tall again, 5, depending on how much water and how much fertilizer one uses. We move here. This is a deeply purple dahlia, which is very difficult to capture on digital video. This is a cactus variety petal. You can see how it springs out in cactus-like form. I have 2 different kinds of dahlias here. This one is called Plum Pretty. This one is called Purple Gem. On video they look more red than purple, but you can see that this is more rounded. This is more spiky in petal formation. And look how bountiful are the buds that promise continued flowers until frost, which, if we're lucky, will be November. This beautiful white and lilac flower is called Victoria Ann. Notice how tall it is? 8 feet tall, perhaps. We waited all summer for her to come into her full bloom. She was putting a lot of energy into the stalks and stems, perhaps a little too much nitrogen in the ground from some compost I had used. But now she's fully in bloom. And this is another purple shaded dahlia called Purple Gem. Now, I know that on video it's hard to see the subtle differences, but they are exquisitely subtle and very beautiful difference between these 2 plants here and the one that's embedded in this section called Victoria Ann. This dahlia is called hissy fits. The petal structure is called lacinated. The end of the petal is split, and it creates a very nice kind of wild petal structure. You can see all the many buds here on this plant also just beginning to fully come into her own at the end of October. This is called hissy fits. This dahlia is called Whodunit, a very lovely pink and white petaled dahlia. Each time a new variety comes up in a dahlia field, the person who propagates it into tubers and multiple tubers for sale or sharing gets to name it. I don't know who done it on this one, but it's a fun name for a very beautiful flower. This is a beautiful and pure white dahlia called To My Love. I've not had many petals, many blossoms on this plant this year because it was a first year planting. But it will, if I leave it in the ground and protect it, grow stronger, more vigorous, and I'll have lots of To My Love dahlias next summer and fall. Here we have a strikingly red dahlia with just the slightest yellow center, reminiscent of bodacious. This is called Sure Thing. Again, digital video makes it difficult for you to see the exquisite shades of red and purple and mauve that are so spectacular about dahlias. Miss Delilah is a dahlia with a petal structure called formal decorative, regularly placed petals throughout the blossom. We see here 4 stages of a flower. We start with a blossom, and then we move to a newly opened dahlia, brand spanking, beautifully open. It looks like a water lily almost. And then we see what it looks like after it's been open a while. The colors start to fade. And then we see it as it's just about finished its cycle. The center is fully pollinated, and before long the leaves will come off and this flower will be done. Miss Delilah. This dahlia is called Bumble Rumble, as my son Damien, my videographer, shoots a close-up. You can see the bees. If you get really close up, you can see pollen sacs on their back legs. Many different kinds of insects come to feed and pollinate these flowers. This petal structure is called collarette. It's a flat background color petal with an internal collar of different colors of petal, making a very beautiful daisy-like flower. This Bumble Rumble plant has really exploded this fall in blossoms. It's just amazingly productive. Dahlias are very heavy waterers. They say not to hand water, but to use soaker hoses or irrigation because they need so much water. I have soaker hoses under everything that I grow in my garden, vegetables and flowers, and particularly dahlias, and I give them an hour of water. Each plant gets an hour of water at least twice a week, slow drip water, so the water goes deeply into the soil. If you water superficially, the tubers don't grow in the soil, and the plants won't make flowers, or won't make many flowers. So high water bill, extravagant bouquets in October. This beautiful pink flower is called curlicue, and it's a cactus variety petal structure. It really is quite wonderful in how it spreads out, down and out and up. This is called curlicue. This dahlia is called optic illusion. It's been a very prolific plant this summer. It's kind of coming to the end. Again, as the season winds down, the flowers are smaller. We see here again the evolution from just brand new, open, to here it is, been open a little bit, starting to get pollinated, starting to kind of wear out. Its beauty has attracted its favorite pollinators. Then we have it here at the end where it's really done its job. All the flowers of all the tomorrows are found in the seeds of today. And the tubers of today. I play a number of instruments, one of which is the Celtic harp. When I fell in love with the dahlia, I decided to write a song about the dahlia called Seeds of Today. All the flowers of all the tomorrows are found in the seeds of today. All the flowers of all the tomorrows are found in the seeds of today. When we take a look around us, what do we see? A world that is frozen in time. Everything seems ordered as we pass hurriedly, and the constant seizes our mind. But slow down a minute, take a breath or two. Here's a little secret just between me and you. Out of the present, the future unfolds like a dahlia from its tiny seed. Out of the present, the future unfolds. What we choose creates our destiny. All the flowers of all the tomorrows are found in the seeds of today. All the flowers of all the tomorrows are found in the seeds of today. When I look around my garden, great beauty I see. Lovely flowers reach toward the sun. Long before they were planted, reflection revealed the design and what had to be done. The earth was enriched, then the soil was tilled. With seeds and plant sets the garden was filled, protected from dangers and nurtured each day. In time, in the sunlight, the blossoms did play. protected from dangers and nurtured each day. In time my vision soon came my way. All the flowers of all the tomorrows are found in the seeds of today. All the flowers of all the tomorrows are found in the seeds of today. Inside our hearts many seeds have been sown from the choices we've made in the past. If we hurry, their lessons will never be known. With reflection they blossom and last. So slow down a minute, take a breath or two. Get in touch with the vision that's living in you. With love and attention, our dreams can come true and brighten the future for me and for you. With love and attention, our lives can unfold like a garden with flowers of beauty untold. All the flowers of all the tomorrows were found in the seeds of today. All the flowers of all the tomorrows are found in the seeds of today. The windsock in the back of my dahlia patch spins summer, fall, winter, and spring. When the frost hits and the garden dies and the ground goes barren, the windsock is there to remember and to remind me of what is possible from the earth with care and attention. I put my hands deep into the soil and work hard to nurture flowers, vegetables, the beauty that feeds my spirit and the food that feeds my family. Thank you for coming to my garden and enjoying a walk with the Dahlia Dude, Michael Brown, Richmond, Virginia.